Hi Flosstube, this is Lauren, the Gen X Stitcher. Welcome to my second video. Thank you everybody who watched my first one and subscribed and made comments. It's so appreciated, and I hope you join me in the future as I learn how to make these videos better and learn how to edit, and it'll come eventually. So thank you for coming to my craft room today. Today's video, I'm going to catch you up from what I've been working on since my last video and show you some future plans and also a little bit of my organization of floss. So let's get going. The first thing I'm going to show you is, as I said in my first video, I'm making these videos to hold myself accountable for the projects I'm doing. First of all, to finish stitching a lot of them, and second of all, mostly to get them fully finished. I have quite a few that I've done in the last couple of years since I started stitching again that I want to get fully finished. So I decided to pick at least 2 to 3 projects to make myself accountable for in between videos, getting those done. So let's start with some of those that I did. My first one I did, it's called Summer Bird, and it is from Heart and Hand. This stand I got at Walmart, I don't know, probably a year or more ago. It wasn't that expensive, and I'm sorry I don't know the actual price. I mounted my Summer Bird on sticky board. I made ruffle out of cotton fabric, glued it all together, and put magnets on the back, and this board, it's very magnetized. And then I can switch them out. I have a few more seasons of this bird pattern that I want to just use on this metal frame. So that's the first one I did. And then the next one I did is, I believe, and I apologize, last video I think I said it was Little House Needleworks. It's actually the Country Cottage, and it's called Be Virtues. I did it on a fabric from Fabric Flair, and this is just a piece of wood that I got from Walmart as well in their craft section. I mounted the picture itself on fabric board. I changed the colors. If anybody is interested in the colors I changed it to, these little flowers were all in blues. I changed it to the pinks and corals, and these buttons I added on from my own stash. So if you're interested in knowing what fabric and flosses I used, let me know down below and I'll respond to your comment. And these 3 buttons were not on the board, and the bow was not on the board. The only thing that was on was this rope, and I did those all out of my stash. That's going to hang on my wall where I'll put, during the summertime, a bunch of bee items. And my third project that I held myself accountable for, I'm so excited about this one. This is the Little House Needleworks. It's Needlework ABCs. This was so fun to stitch. This was just a board that I purchased at Home Depot. It was already stained on one side, and the other side was not. It actually came in, I think, a 4-foot board, so I cut it in half. So I have a whole nother piece of wood the same size for another project. These scissors I hung on here. These were my first pair of needlework scissors that I ever owned. I was probably 17 or 18, and my mom purchased them for Christmas for me. They're the, they're the Swan scissors. They're very sharp, and unfortunately, last year, I used to take these scissors with me everywhere I went, and unfortunately, last year I dropped them, and they fell right onto my hardwood floor, point first, and bent the point, so I can't use them anymore. So I thought it would be appropriate to hang it on my needlework. So, and this is going to get hung right behind me, so in the next video you'll see it hanging behind me. That was a really fun stitch. So those are my 3 projects. I'm pretty proud of myself for getting 3 accomplished. My final finishes, which, why do they call them final finishes and then fully final finishes? I like to call them fully stitched. These are my August ones I finished. The first one I finished on August 26th, and this is from, oh my gosh, it just went totally out. Hands-On Design by Kathy Hedren. And all I had to do last time I talked about this was put these felt leaves on and hand stitched like little stems. I don't know if you can see. There you go. So that was my first finish. My second finish, and this was the end of August, so I only had 2, which is not bad. This is going to be a little scissor fob. This is a free pattern from Brucella, and it's on plaidonline.com. It was back from October 2015, but it's called Boo. And I'm going to make that into a fob, and I'm making a couple more of them, so we'll see how they turn out. This is on 18 count Aida, and it's a 2x2 square that it's going to end up being. So those were my finishes. And my whip updates. Sorry, I have everything stacked to my side, so excuse me while I turn my head. Okay. So the first thing I worked on since my last video was 20th, 25th was that Boo fob. And here's the second one I started. And like I said, I have a few of those that I have to get done. Then I worked on this was one of my projects that I talked about, that it's my to-go that I keep in my purse if I'm traveling or at lunchtime. This is part 3 of a 4-part series. It's done on perforated paper, and here's what it'll look like when it's done. I'm almost there. A few more flowers, a little more leaves, their feet or legs, whatever you want to call them. I'm not really in a rush to finish this series, so that's what's kind of nice about it being my to-go project, because I'm not in a real hurry. But it's a fun stitch. The next thing I worked on, I only worked on this for one day, unfortunately. And this is a Hands-On Design laundry company. This is the first in a 3-part series, Actually, it's 4-part because in each pattern she gives you one little part of a 4th pattern. So this one. And since I last showed you, I did the word cycle. Not much, but it's something. This is going to go in my monthly rotation until I get all the parts done so that I can get it done to get hung in my laundry room. And like I said, I haven't done a whole lot of stitching since we last talked because one, I was doing those finishes, so that took a few nights. And then I mentioned at the end of my last video that I was getting back into my hexie hand. It's called English paper piecing. I'm doing hexies. These were what I had done. And since we last talked, I did another one. And these are going to be made into a mug rug for my office desk. And then I did this one. And I'm trying to do not a full-size quilt, like just one that you kind of throw over your legs when you're on the couch or something. I'm going to do a bunch of those to look like sunflowers. And so I did those, and then I worked on some more hexies for my project. So that's how many I got done. I think I worked on these probably about, I don't know, 3 or 4 nights. It was some easy, simple, no thinking kind of stuff. So those were my whips that I was working on. And then I'll tell you about my rotation for September. It's kind of what I've been doing the last few months. But since I'm showing you my whips, I'll just show you what I worked on the first September 1st through today. Over the holiday weekend, I started this on Friday. This is from Little House Needleworks called Autumn Band. This is from 2011, in case anybody is wondering. And this is where I am. I started this on the 1st. I did a lot of stitching on it over the weekend. Saturday I wasn't feeling too good, and Monday I wasn't feeling too good, so I did a lot of stitching on those 2 days. I am doing this on 28 count summer khaki, so it's not the called for fabric, but it's the called for count, 28 count. And I decided to do this 1/2 on 28 count, just to see what it is, and I kind of like it. I kind of like how you can see the X's quite a bit more. Let me show you a comparison. This is 28 count 2/2. Let's see if I can get them side by side here. Sorry. And the fall one is 1/2. I don't know. Did you see a difference? I just think it comes out, the X's come out a lot better. Anyways, I like it. So that's what I worked on for my first 3 days of September. And then I came up with my very first Lizzie Kate, and it's Cat Lessons for People. Here we go. And I'm doing this on 32 count linen and DMC only. That's how far I am. Not very far, but I only stitched on it yesterday, And I'm also doing this on 1/2. Just again, I really like how those X's are showing up. So who knows? Maybe I started a new thing for myself. So that's my whips. I'll be working on cat lessons for people until Friday, through Friday. And then on Saturday starts a new rotation. So let me tell you about my rotation. What I've been doing is I've been breaking the months down into 3 to 4 day increments, just kind of randomly. And I pick out about 10 projects and I put them in my bag. And when that 3 days is up or the 4 days is up, I pick out a new project. And some of them are new starts, some of them are whips. And I work on that for the next 4 days, and so on and so on. And once I work on them for that month, I don't go back to that project. They might get put back in my next month's rotation, and I might be able to work on them again next time. So that's been working out really well for me. I don't feel so confined to working on a certain project and I have to get this done. It's just whatever comes to me. However, for September, I'm doing things just a little bit different. September is my birthday. So starting September 8th, which is today, I am going to be doing, starting a brand new start. And my plan is to work on this for 4 days, starting on the 8th of every month, for 4 days, every month until she's done. And hopefully I'll have it done by next birthday. So this is my project that I'll be starting on Saturday the 8th. Ta-da! My first Mirabilia mermaid. Now I have other Mirabilias that I started, but this is my first mermaid. And this is Bluebeard's Princess. And I am doing it on, it's called Premium Linen Beach Walk. Now, I'm sorry, I have to go, when I go back to my LNS the next time, I'll ask her where it's from, because I don't know. It was just one she had, and it's not as green as this one, but it's green. It's not really showing up real nice on here, but it's not an in-your-face green, so I like it. And this is 32 count, and I'll be doing 1/2 on this. So that's ready to go on the scroll. And then I have all the called for colors. Some are DMCs. Oh, I'm sorry, they're not all the called for colors because they called for Kreinik, and I do the petite treasure braid. So there's some of the colors for that. And a lot of beads. So looking forward to doing this one. And what I have my flosses in right now, this is a drawer. And this drawer fits really nicely into a little table that I have sitting by my chair in the living room that I stitch on. And then I can just keep it in there, and since I'm stitching on it every month, I'll just keep these right in that drawer because I won't be traveling with this project at all. It's just I have to think too much when I'm doing Mirabilias for some reason. But so all my threads and everything will just stay right in this little drawer next to my stitching chair. So when I'm ready to stitch on it on the 8th of the month, she'll be right there. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope I can keep myself on track with that one. Also, I showed you the two whips that I started the 1st of September, and I got on the bandwagon, of course, with everybody with the tiny decision wheel. The app you can get, and you put all your whips on there, or however many whips you want to put on there, and you press the button and it makes a decision for you which one you want to do. Just kind of a fun thing for me. How I was doing it before was just I'd reach in the bag and see what I felt like doing. But on the decision wheel too, you can make it so that it won't pick that project again until you reset the wheel. So that's what I liked about it. So I'm going to just try it. I know everybody was using it for arbitrary August, but I'm going to do it because I didn't see it till the end of August, so I'll do it for September and see how it goes. But I'm still sticking to my 3 to 4 day routine of stitching. So that's where I'm at with my whips. Let's see. The next thing I want to show you is my goals to keep myself accountable for the projects I want to do. I picked out 5 this time. I don't know if I can do it, but we'll see. That's for the whole month, so we'll see. My first one is the Little House Needleworks Kitty Cottage. I just love this one. And of course, I think I mentioned last video that my cats are that color. So I'll show you what that's going to be turned into next video. My second one is from Prairie Schooler, A Prairie Year. I have stitched quite a few of these, and this is the one I chose to fully finish for my next video. I finished this in October of 2016, and it's been sitting in my box of shame. I stitched this on 18 count Aida. I believe it's called Egyptian, I want to say. If I picture this plus, and it's so soft. I'm trying to do all those Prairie Year, all these on the same type of fabric. My next finished stitches that I want to be held accountable for fully finishing is Autumn. I love this one. The squirrels are so cute. I finished this in August 2017. This was a free pattern by the Tiny Modernist. She has this pattern is on tinymodernist.com, and it's from 2013. I stitched this on 14 count Aida. I have a cute idea. I'm going to do it with that one. Oh, I'm like, that's only 3. My other one I showed you. Oh no, where did I do with it? I'm sorry. It's here in this file somewhere. It was I had just finished it. It was my Sunshine on a Stem by Hands On Design. This one. And I'm gonna fully finish that. Cute idea, it turns out. And then my last one I talked about, this one in my video. This was supposed to be my first one I worked on. I did this one in 2016, August of 2016 for my mom's birthday. It's the Serenity Prayer. I was going to frame it. I got this really cool frame from Goodwill, But as I was starting to do it, I decided not to frame it because my mom has so many pictures on her walls. I think she might enjoy like a little pillow that she can put either on her couch where she watches TV or hang it from a doorknob or something like that. So I'm going to make it into a little, well, it'll probably be an 8.5 by 11 size pillow. So, and that will be the first thing I work on to finish everything. So I can get that to her. So, those are all my projects for September that I'm going to fully finish for you. I guarantee. Okay. Next, I want to talk about my purchases that I made. First thing, this wasn't a purchase, but this was some Happy Meal that I got from a stitchy friend who did this one. Let go, let God. I also want to do this for my mom. I had commented that I liked it, and she sent it to me to share, or to share the stitching, and I will do that and also pass it forward. These are the threads. These are Karen water lily threads. Let's see if I can get it. There you go. Those are colors of my mom's house. So I'm going to do that. Oops, sorry, I had that upside down. I'm going to do that in that color thread. And this is so soft silk. I'm probably going to get spoiled. I've never worked with silk before, so I'm probably going to get spoiled with that. That is not in my September rotation. It will probably go into next month's rotation. I got the, let's see, what is this? This is the October cross stitch issue. I thought there were some cute things in here. I thought I marked the one that I wanted to start first. I usually try to pick up one pattern out from each magazine that I get to try and like kit it up and have it in my projects for future. And this is Hayride Happenings. That I think that's the first one I'm going to try. This is by Belinda Carls Nace, I think. She was the featured stitcher in this magazine. But I love the squirrels. So that's one I'm going to kit up. Don't know when I'll get to it. Could be next year, but... And then I got some patterns because I have to have my pattern fixed. And I am working towards getting all the word plays by With Thy Needle and Thread. So I got February. I'm sorry guys, I have it in a sheet protector. So I think you've all seen them, and you could go online and see what they look like. I got these all from a couple different LNSs. And I still have a few more months to go in between. This is May. Like I'm missing June, April, July, and then October, and November. So I have a few more to get, and I am not going to start these until either December or January. So I have some time, and I'm sure I'll be at my local LNS before then, I'm sure. In fact, I'm going next week again. So I talked last time, I said I was going to mention my LNSs. I have 3 that are pretty close to me, but I tend to go to one more often because it's just a little bit closer. Traffic-wise, it's a little bit easier to get to, And her hours work with I work full-time jobs, so she is open in the evening at least one night during the week, and then she's open on Saturdays. So it kind of just works with my schedule. Um, so I will be talking more about my LNSs as my videos go through too. I just love to support the local shops. I do order from 123 Stitch. Some of those patterns I just showed you were from other brick and mortars that I went online and ordered from them. I've visited them in the past. They're out of state, but I have stopped at them, and I've since ordered from them. So that is all my purchases. My next and last segment is my organization. I kind of want to show, I get a lot out of videos that show how people do things or how they like to organize. So that's what I decided to do, is like each video I'll try to do something about how I organize my cross stitching. So today I chose how I keep my threads. So if you see up here, woo, there's a little space here. This is where I keep my boxes of floss. I mostly kit up a lot of stuff. And when I kit them up, I try to put as much floss as I have in there. And then I'll go and I'll purchase the remainder of the floss and put it in there. When a project's done, it goes back into my reserve flosses. Oops, I got this backwards. This is my DMC floss box. I'll show you the bottom because it looks really pretty from the bottom. And that's the top. This box is from a scrapbooking stamping company. It's called Close to My Heart. They are still in business. It's I was a consultant, so I was an independent consultant for Close to My Heart, and I would sell anything that had to do with scrapbooking and card making from this company. They still are a company. This box is still available. This is a medium organization box. I believe it's $24.95. You can order from an independent consultant for Close to My Heart, or you can order online. Like I said, I'm no longer a consultant. I don't get paid for them. I just love this organization. I keep all my flosses in little jewelry bags. These are 3x4 jewelry bags. They do have a hole in the top of them, so I can put a ring on them and put them into my project bags once I get them all kitted up. But until then, they sit in my reserve box. Oops. All in numerical order. These are just plastic cards that I cut out and spaced them. I used to bobbinate, and when I got back into stitching, I decided I did not want to bobbinate because I was wasting way too much time bobbinating. And I hate that little kinky line that you get from them being bobbinated so long. So this is an old one. I haven't used this color yet, so it's still on the bobbin until I use that color. What I do now is when I purchase the color, it goes right into this, and I'll show you how I make this in a minute. It goes right into this bag, and either in my kit or in my reserve stash. Some of them, let me see if I can find one. Here's one where I bought an extra because I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough. I still have my old bobbin, I hardly used any. And this is what I had left from a cut that I did. And I just put it in the back. And then when I go to start my project, I start with these individual ones first. So I don't have to wind it back around. I just stuff it into the bag. So that's how I do my DMC. And I also do my fancy floss the same way. I don't like just to have them on a ring. I know it's beautiful and you like to touch it, but I have a real problem when it gets into my project bag and they start getting tangled together. That drives me bonkers. So here I have another one of these boxes, and they stack right on top of each other. This one's not real full because I don't buy fancy floss constantly. I try to use DMC. I wish I could buy fancy floss all the time. Sorry. This one I have in order of company. So like Weeks Dye Works, Petite Treasure Braid, Gentle Arts, Classic Color Work, and so on. And each section, there's 8 sections in here, and they're removable. Each section is a different company. See, these are my Weeks Dye Works. And then I write on here what the color is. Let's see if I can find one. Like here's Weeks Dye Work. Those are the strands that I had taken apart and didn't need anymore, so I just put them in the back. They go in my reserve until I need them again. And yes, sometimes I will have doubles or triples because I do kit up my projects ahead of time, and life's too short to worry about pulling them out of one project and putting them into the next. And I also have a listing of conversions. I got this online. If you just go on the internet and you search DMC conversion charts, there's a bunch of different companies. And I keep that right on top of my floss inside that box, so I have it all the time. And the last part of my organization is how I put those little baggies together. So also up here you'll see my tools. Gosh guys, I'm so sorry. Here's my tools. And then I keep this little box. It's a little, I don't know, organizer box I got somewhere for real cheap. It's got a little tray in it. So I keep my pens, scissors, pencils, sticky notes, tape, that kind of stuff that I might need when I'm kitting up. I cut these, some of these are index cards, some's just cardstock that I cut into 3x4 pieces. I have them all ready so that when I buy my new flosses, I just grab my marker out of my little tool section. I grab one of these and I put on there the number or the name of the floss. These again are 3x4 jewelry bags. They're made by Doris, and you can get them at Michael's. You can get them online. They're 3x4, and they have the little hole already pre-cut, so you can put them right on rings. Guys, I'm really lucky. I'm sure you've seen Doris Company before. It's a distribution company, and they're very close to where I live, so it's kind of cool. They have the people that started this Doris company started with a craft shop, and it's called Pat Catan's. And so, but they have sold out to Michael's over the past year. So, anyways, you can get them really cheap. They're a few bucks. Come in a pack of 100. So I have them all stored in the bottom of my little container, and when I buy them, and I just sit on the couch and do that, and it's a lot faster than bobbinating. And that stays right up there with my floss boxes. Now, I do sometimes have, and I made these myself, everybody's using those, oh shoot, I forget what they're called. They're little teardrops that you tie the string around. Well, I've been doing this for a while. These are just tags that I got at a paper store that we have nearby. It hangs on a ring too. I punch these holes in with just a little hand punch. So if I have like a section where I'm doing a lot of the same color, I'll pull all my flosses out, the individual 6 strings. I'll pull them all off, and I'll tie them onto here, and then if they don't go on my needle, and then I'll just pull off 1 string at a time. They're already separated. I can sit for a good couple hours and just work off this little card. And this will stay right in that little floss bag with the actual color of the floss. And I think that's all for my organization. If you have any questions about what the products were that I use, again, put it down in the comments and I'll be happy to answer you. If you have any questions on anything that I showed you today, any color changes, I really didn't go over colors. I wanted to keep this a lot shorter. So if you have any questions, comments, if you liked my video, subscribe please, and hope you come back again to join me. I had a good time. Talk to you later. Bye.